Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, 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 look.
What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick. So in this video, I want to do a discussion and talk about why Dr. Dre should have released Detox. And Detox is one of those albums that has been talked about for so long. It is such a mystery album with so much hype around it, and it's one of those things that never came out. From the 2000s to the 2010s, we've always heard talks of Detox from Dr. Dre himself. It was supposed to be his next album after Chronic 2001. We've heard a lot of his artists talk about it, like Eminem, The Game. We've heard people like DJ Quick and the DOC talk about it. We've heard a lot of people talk about Detox. I seen an interview yesterday where Corrupt said there's like 3 or 4 versions of Detox, and he said he was even involved with it. It seems like Detox is one of those albums that just has so much hype and talk around it, but it just never came out. Dr. Dre is a legend. He's a good artist. He makes good beats. He's really good at what he does. But I think the problem with Detox and why it never came out is Dr. Dre himself. He's a perfectionist, and he won't put something out unless he knows that he likes it or he knows that it's really good. And it works against him, because it's good to be a perfectionist in some cases so you make the best art you can. But in Dr. Dre's case, I think it actually works against him, because it's caused him to just never put this album out. Detox has just never came out, and it really sucks, because I think if Detox would have came out, it would have been a really good album, because I've heard a lot of the music from Detox that leaked. Songs like Die Hard with Eminem is dope as hell. Songs like Topless with like Nas, T.I., and Eminem, that's a dope song. One of the recent leaks, the song Get It with Sly Piper, that's a good song as well. And then some of the music that was used for other albums that was meant for Detox is dope. Like the song Popped Off with T.I., that was meant for Detox. That sounds dope. The song The Recipe with Kendrick on his album, that was a Detox track. And that's dope too, And apparently, one of Game and 50 Cent's song, I can't remember which one it is, but apparently one of the songs that 50 and Game made together was also a Detox track. So it just seems like the material we've heard from Detox is top notch. And there was even singles for Detox. There was the Kush song, and then there was I Need a Doctor. And those were good songs, especially Kush. It had a Dr. Dre feel to it, And another reason that Detox should have came out, why it would have been a good thing, is because, Chronic 2001 was a good album, and it affected the music industry. And if Detox would have came out either in the 2000s or 2010s, it could have affected the music industry. And I guarantee you Detox would have been a good album, because whenever you hear people talk about Detox, they have nothing but positive stuff to say about it. They say it's dope what they heard, and from the leaked material I've heard, it sounds dope. The singles that came out from it were dope, and some of the songs like The Recipe and Popped Off that were meant for Detox but gave it to other artists, they sound dope too. So it just really seems like Detox would have been a good album. It would have had really good production. It would have had good music. It would have had really good features. It probably would have had tons of rappers like 50 Cent and The Game and T.I. and Nas and Eminem. Ludacris apparently was involved with Detox. There's even a reference track that Ludacris made that was leaked that he rapped the song, but it was for Dr. Dre. So Ludacris was involved. Eminem was involved. So many people. Corrupt was involved. Snoop Dogg was involved. So many people were involved with Detox, and like Corrupt said in an interview, he said there was like 3 or 4 versions of Detox. So there's, having that much hype and talk about Detox from the 2000s to 2010s, I imagine there's probably thousands and thousands of material for Detox. There's probably like multiple versions of the album Detox, because I mean, from the year 2000 and then all the way to the 2010s, the constant talk and hype of Detox, and if the album's ever going to come out, Dr. Dre probably made so much music for Detox and made so many versions of it, and it's just crazy to think about. It's like, god damn, and I wish Dr. Dre would have put Detox out, because I guarantee you it would have been a good album. It would have had good features, it would have had good songs, it would have had good beats, probably would have had good singles. It already did have good singles, but it would have been a stellar album, and I wish Dr. Dre would have released it. Another reason I wish Detox would came out is because it would have really made the mainstream music industry a lot more exciting. Either in the 2000s and especially the 2010s, we needed something like Detox. It would have been nice to have a huge album like that come out from someone like Dr. Dre, because it would have made the mainstream music side of things a lot more interesting. Because it's like, holy shit, a legend comes back with a brand new album with all these people on it. It would have been excellent. And I guarantee it would have been a good album, because even DJ Quick in an interview said that he heard Detox and he thought it was better than Chronic 2001. And I take his word for it, because that guy You know, he knows what he's talking about. He engineered Tupac's All Eyes on Me album. He makes good beats. So if he's saying that, then that goes to show you that Detox would have been a good album. You know, and another reason I wish Detox would have came out is because I didn't like Compton. Dr. Dre did eventually put an album out in 2015, which is the album Compton. I didn't like that album. For the longest time, I couldn't listen to it because I think Compton was one of those things where you could only buy it. You couldn't listen to it anywhere online, so you had that limitation to it. But when I eventually did listen to Compton, I didn't like the album. It didn't really feel like a Dr. Dre album. It felt very different from Detox and Chronic 2001. Because even Detox still had that sound that I could recognize that is similar to Chronic 2001. But Detox pretty much to me sounded like a modern version of Chronic 2001 and an evolution of it. It was a dope, like the material I have heard that is leaked from Detox and those singles, Cushion, I Need a Doctor, they sounded dope. Songs like Recipe and stuff, everything musically that I was able to hear from Detox, it sounds dope and it sounds like it would have been a dope album. But Compton, on the other hand, I didn't like Compton. Compton from 2015, I didn't care for that album. It just did not sound like a Dr. Dre album. I didn't really care for it. It came and went. It didn't really have that effect or impact that Chronic 2001 has, you know? And it's not an album I ever went back to, unlike Chronic 2001, you know? Or other albums Dr. Dre's been involved with, you know? And some other reasons I didn't like Compton, a lot of his artists weren't even on the album a lot. Eminem was like on one song, which is fucking crazy. I think Snoop and Ice Cube and The Game were only on like one or two songs. The Exhibit was only on one song. There was an overabundance of Anderson .Paak. I'm not really a fan of Anderson .Paak, and I feel like he was on the album way too fucking much. It got annoying. A lot of times Dr. Dre didn't really sound like himself because some people feel like on some songs he sounds like he's rapping like Kendrick, which is true. Maybe it's because he does have people write his lyrics, so sometimes, you know, that tends to happen maybe. But yeah, he definitely didn't sound as Dr. Dre-ish, I guess you could say, on some of the Compton album. And it just, even the name itself is bland. Like Compton, like that sounds like a project any West Coast rapper could make. The album cover was bland. The name was bland. Detox just sounds cool by name. The name Detox sounds cool, and it sounds like something that would come from Dr. Dre. You know, the name itself just sounds awesome and unique, you know? And I just really feel like it would have been a good album if it came out. You know, I get Dr. Dre's a perfectionist, and he wants to make the best music he wants to make, and he doesn't want to put something out unless he thinks it's good. But I think he's way too extreme with the perfectionism, and I think it works against him because it allows him not to put out, you know, a lot of music, and it allows him not to put out Detox. You know, Detox still hasn't come out. Detox still isn't out. We've never had an official release after all this time. Is Detox ever going to come out? I don't know. I don't know if Detox is ever going to come out. I think the only thing we can hope for is either he just releases it one day and all the music he made for it, all the versions, or all of it gets leaked, or the rest of it slowly gets leaked. Other than that, I don't know if Detox will ever come out, but it should, because Dr. Dre's a good artist. He can make good beats. He's a legend in the game. He makes really good music. He's good at managing artists. And I just think Detox was one of those things that should have came out. It's an album that should have came out because I think it would have been a dope album. And there was so much hype around it. You hear Eminem on Encore say, you know, don't worry about Detox, it's coming soon. And he said that in like 2004, you know, and so many people in his camp have worked on Detox and talked about Detox. Dr. Dre himself always talked about Detox and how he's making it and how he's going to release it and that's going to be his next album. And it just never came out. And I think it's a real shame because the leaked material and the other songs that were used for other albums and the singles that did come out in general, like that music I've heard that was meant for Detox, it just sounded dope. It sounded dope. It was really good, and I think the album could have really been something special. I think it would have been a dope album. It would have been a great album. It would have been better than Compton. It would have had really good beats, really good features, really good songs, and it would have been one of the most exciting albums, and it would have really made an impact, I think, on mainstream music. It would have made an impact on something, and it would have did something like Chronic 2001. It would have had shockwaves in the industry. And it would have been cool, you know, because in the modern mainstream music industry nowadays, I don't think it's that exciting. You know, even someone like Eminem, I just don't think really makes the same type of music he used to, you know. And I think if Detox would have came out, it would have really been an interesting album because it would have made the mainstream music industry interesting. I'd have been like, hell yeah, a new Dr. Dre album with all these people working on it. It would have been something to look forward to, something to get excited for, something to get hyped for in the mainstream music industry, you know. I wish it would have released because it would have been something to look forward to. It's like, yeah, fuck all these whack-ass mainstream rappers. Someone like Dre finally has a new album out. It would have made things interesting. And I wish Detox would have came out. It should have came out. It should have released, you know, all this hype around it, all this talk around it, the songs I have heard from it, the songs that were meant for the album used for other things like the recipe on Kendrick's album. In general, musically, Detox sounded dope. Everybody that talked about Detox said it was good. You have so many people involved with it. You know, it's had so much work done to it, you know, from the 2000s to 2010s. I don't know when Detox was first talked about, but I'm just going to say, you know, from the 2000s to 2010s, Detox was constantly talked about. There was always hype and talk about it, and it just never released, never came out because Dr. Dre's a perfectionist. So he's not going to put something out unless he thinks it's good. You know, and it's just a shame that it never came out because I didn't like Compton. I thought Compton was Dr. Dre's weakest album, and it was disappointing. It came and went. Lack of interesting features from his camp. A lot of the rappers he knows were barely on songs. Too much of Anderson .Paak, which I didn't care for him. And it just didn't have an impact. It wasn't a memorable album, you know, and it just confuses me. It's like Dr. Dre doesn't want to put out Detox, but yeah, he puts out Compton. Compton musically is worse in every way than Detox. If Dr. Dre's a perfectionist and doesn't want to put something out unless it's good, why would he put out Compton and not Detox? I mean, musically, Detox sounded better than anything on Compton, but yet Dr. Dre puts out Compton instead of Detox. It makes no sense to me, you know? It really doesn't. He should have put out Detox instead because musically Detox sounded better. How could Dre put out Compton but not Detox? I wasn't a fan of Compton. It came and went, lack of interesting features. Just there was no songs I really liked on it. It was lackluster compared to his previous work. And it wasn't as good as Detox from what I heard of Detox. Yeah, it's just a discussion video. Just let me know what you think and if you want a Detox to come out. Just want to make a video about this. Hopefully one day Detox can come out. That's an album I've always wanted and he should have released it.